Hi FlossTube, my name is Anna and welcome to my channel Acme Stitcher. It has been about 4 weeks since I filmed my last video, so I have a lot of things to show you guys, to update you. So it might be a long one, we'll see. Today is Monday, March 24th. It's actually my birthday. Not that I don't like making a big deal out of it, but I happen to have a day off. It's actually a holiday for me, Cesar Chavez Day, and my kids have school. So I have a couple hours left of alone time. I was looking forward to this day to film. I've been planning on it for a while, and I did not realize that my husband, well, I knew my husband had to work, but I forgot that he works from home on Mondays. So he's actually here upstairs. So it's a little bit awkward. I hope he can't hear me too much. But I told him to just stay upstairs and not come downstairs. So we'll see if he listens. What else? I got myself a cup of tea. I'm ready to go. My husband got me this cup after he read ACOTAR that I made him read. So he didn't really like the books as much as I did, but I did get a lot of ACOTAR merch as gifts afterwards, which paid off. I have a finish. I have a couple new starts. I have a progress update. So I've worked on, 6 or 7 projects. I started a stitch along with Caro Courage Podcast is her FlossTube name. And I have a couple new kits to show you. And I have a haul from a retreat, the Pacific Stitching retreat that was hosted by Live or Die LA that I went to at the end of February, early March. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first is my finish. I think at my last video I said I don't have stitch count on this, but this was a secret fall stitch along from last year, from 2024, by Pony Stitches. So my goal was to finish this one at the end. Well, it was on my WIPCA goal for January to finish, but that didn't happen. So my second plan was to finish it at the retreat, which I did. It took me like 1 day of full concentration speed mode I had to finish the squirrel, put in all these mushrooms, all the stuff on top, and add this duck or goose, I don't know. So this is finally done, yay. This is my first finish since I've gotten back into cross stitching 3 years ago. So that's kind of exciting. I know it's not very big, but a finish is a finish. So I just need to frame it, and I'm thinking hanging it somewhere near my kids' bedrooms, maybe in that hallway there. What else? And I don't have a stitch count on this because I work from a paper chart, which I don't usually like to do, but it worked out. Next, I have my progress updates. So first, let's start with Dream. This is, I don't know if there's a point of showing you the finished product now. This is how, the finished product looks like. So I'm just finishing this corner right here. Since when you guys saw it last, I was at 99,500 stitches, which was 83%, and now I've added 3,764 stitches, and now I'm at 103,278 stitches. So I hit the 100,000 stitches mark at the retreat, which was very exciting. So I only have, this is only 119,000 stitches, 119 and a half thousand stitches total. So I'm, what does that make it? 3 minus 19, so 60, I'm at 16,000 stitches left, somewhere around there. And I usually do cross country, so I pick up a piece, you know, a string of floss, and I just do the next color to kind of keep the full coverage completed stitches all together. But I decided, since I moved the Nurch hoop to the very last corner, I've decided to start doing collar completion just for fun, because I've never done that method before. So the first day I decided to do that, I think I finished like 11 colors, if not more, maybe 15, because some of the colors I only had 1 or 2 stitches left. Some of it was like 9 or 10. So I believe all of the yellows are now done. A lot of browns are now done. Maybe there is a little bit of green left. So I'm working from down the list of the colors that I need to finish. So at this point, I think I only have like 19 or 20 colors left. It is starting to get a little bit annoying to use this method when it's a color that doesn't come up very often. It's just a bunch of confetti in a place where there's not many other stitches going on. It just makes me nervous because I feel like if I miscount, to me, it just feels like it's easier to miscount when you go up and keep working on all of these stitches on their own. In case I don't do it correctly, I feel like you have higher chances of messing up. Where if you just stay close to the stitched area, you can kind of check yourself against all the other stitches that have been completed. So I find it's less chances of making a mistake. But nonetheless, this is what I'm doing for now. So I think I'm working on this color. This is the next color that needs to be finished. So getting close. Natasha from Dopamine Stitcher, her channel Dopamine Stitcher, she mentioned me at in her last video, and she kind of talked about how we got to meet in person, and she got to see this piece in person, and she said, "I'm close to a finish." And when she said that, I finally realized, oh yeah, I am close to a finish. Like, it did not hit me because I've been working on this for 3 years, and like logically, I know I'm gonna finish it soon, but it just feels like it's always gonna be there. Like, it's just a project that I'm always gonna have. That's how it feels like. So when she said that, I finally hit me like, oh yes, I am gonna finish this pretty soon. I'm actually a little bit behind on my goal. My goal is to do 5,000 stitches a month, and it's the end of March soon, and I still need to do like 1,700 stitches. So hopefully I get some stitching time. I don't know. If I don't meet it, it's not the end of the world, but that's the plan. So yay. I really like how it's coming out. And I'm really looking forward to, once I'm done with this, to washing it, because I've had it out for 3 years and you could tell. So I really look forward to that. That'll be my reward, finishing it. Okay, next, just going down the list. A lot of the progress on some of these pieces I made during the retreat. It was a 4-day retreat at the end of February, early March. So during those 4 days, I managed to put in about 3,800 stitches, but I was getting bored working on the same project, for the whole day. So I kind of tried to switch it up, which was nice to make that progress. And I haven't had that much time to stitch the last couple of weeks. It's been busy. So I'm glad I do have the progress, but it's also happened a month ago. So now I have a hard time remembering what I worked on, but I have my notes. Okay, so the next, this is my Night of Passion by Long Dog Sampler. It's one of their tiny samples. I forget what they call, petite, I don't know. and I've added 295 stitches. So now it's at 3,875 stitches, and it's at 48.66%. So I'm close to hitting the 50% mark. Just those 200, almost 300 stitches added basically like 3.5–4% to the total stitch count. So it's a small project. So I kind of like seeing how quickly the percentage goes up, even if I just work on it for like an hour or two. And I've never mentioned this on my channel, but I've had some questions of asking what floss I'm using for this one. And it's actually Dinky Dye's Blue Spruce. Blue Spruce, yes, color. Which was my first time trying like a silky thread, which I think I like. I just kind of, I don't know, to me it is a little bit fluffy, if that makes sense, which I don't know if I like that, but I do like how nice it feels to pull through the fabric. So anyways, I do want to finish this one this year sometime, just to keep my whip count down as much as possible. Okay, next one is the Witcher. I think I only worked on this at the retreat. I should have shown you the full picture. This is how he will look like when I'm done. Charted by Thread Geeks. So I've added, most of my projects on 25 count, so I'm working on 25 count. I've added 481 stitches. I think I was still trying to work in his eye. So this is what I've got done at the retreats. Now he is at 11,536 stitches, which is 12.72% for this project. So not too bad. Next is, this is actually my WIPCO goal for March, so I have not made as much progress as I need to for this one, but I did work on it at the retreat a little bit, so I've added 169 stitches. Should say I'm a little bit disorganized today. This is Geckorush's first Patreon chart that was available, I think, in November. And the artist is Kate Brazier. You can now buy this as a kit from their website. But since with Gecko's Patreon charts, you can just kit it up yourself. So I'm working on, this one is on 28 count Lugana by Live and Die LA color Zombie. Blah. 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 There we go. And I've added, I think I already said, like 169 stitches. So now this is at 2.29%. And this needle minder is from Stitchonomy on Etsy. It's really cute. So I want to make more progress. I need to add, I mean, my goal is 1,000 stitches for March. So I need to add still over 800 stitches. So hopefully I get some stitching time this week, because I need to catch up. And then I have can't talk. I apologize. I should have been more prepared. Sweet Summertime by Contemporary Cross. I've added 723 stitches. So now it's at 4,797 stitches, which is 1.92%. So I'm almost at 2%. And this is also my WIPCO goal for March. So I still need to add about a couple hundred stitches to meet my goal. More than that. Over 200 so many stitches, but I feel like once I add those, I will hit the 2%, so that'll be exciting. But I love this one so much. I love how it's coming out. It's so much fun to stitch on. So can't wait to work on it more, but I know it's a big one. We're 250,000 stitches total, so on the bigger side compared to most of my other whips that I have. So I know this one is going to take a while to finish. Okay, my last progress update is on Folk Witch. There she is. This was a chart by Gekarouche, but the artist is Medusa Dollmaker, which is now retired from Gekarouche. And I've added 440 stitches on Folk Witch. So I'll insert the before photo. It's on 25 count. So now she is at 13,233 stitches, which is 8.19% total. I think I only worked on her at the retreat, but I love her so much. Okay. Then I have 2 new starts. One I was planning on starting in March. The second one was an unplanned start, but hopefully I can justify myself. I mean, I justified myself to myself. But when I was at the retreat, I saw Pumpkin Spice Cottage. I'll insert a photo. I don't have one printed out. Actually, I guess it's a PDF. Well, that's fine. I'll insert a photo of it. But Pumpkin Spice Cottage, no. The Frosted, it's Castle Homecoming, I can't talk, by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I saw this one completely stitched up at the retreat on 28 count, and it was like on a blue 28 count Lugana. And whoever finished it, her name was Sarah. So thank you, Sarah, for bringing it and showing it at the brag table. And it was the cutest thing I've ever seen. So as soon as I saw it, I thought I have to stitch it for myself. I could not get it out of my head. So as soon as I got home, I told my husband, I think I'm going to buy this chart because it's just way too cute. It's not typically my style. It's not full coverage, but it was so adorable. And of course, and I've never bought anything from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery before, but they have a special where I think if you buy 5 charts, you get, I forget how much, 15 or 20% off or something like that. So of course I had to buy more charts. So I have some other ones now in my arsenal. They have a super cute, like my Frankenstein pillows for Halloween. I want to make one for my son because he loves Frankenstein. So there's other ones that I want to do, but I have to finish this one before I pull out the other ones that I want to do. So I'm going to try to stick to, other than Gekarouche, because obviously I have so many Gekarouche kids, or whips, but the rest of them I'm trying to stick to one pattern per designer rule. So I need to finish this one if I want to start anything else. But look at those cute little crosses. And it's also like my first time. I did everything that was called for, so I pulled all the called for DMC, but there were also 2, I forget what the colors are, but like fancy flosses that I had to buy. So that's something new for me. And then this color is Standing Stones by Live and Die LA. I don't remember if I bought it. I think I bought it at the first retreat in Anaheim that I went to last year. But it's super cute. So the only thing is I'm working off of PDF on my iPad. so it's not in my pattern keeper, which is not as convenient. If anybody knows how to get, if you're able to get this kind of pumpkin frosted stitcher charts into pattern keeper, let me know. Maybe I just need to figure it out, but that would be nice. I feel like it would make it faster, although it's not a very big chart, so it probably wouldn't take me that long. So that's my new start. So my plan was to have only 20 whips. I finished this one, which granted me permission to start a new whip, but my plan was to start my next one and not the Castle Homecoming. So now I ended up having 2 new starts in March. So now I'm at 21 whips. But maybe, I don't know why I put those rules on myself. Maybe I should just up the number to like 25, which would be perfect for WhipGo. Kara from Kara Kirsch podcast, her and I were talking, and she was using that logic and said I should just let it be 25. So she's kind of enabling me too. So we'll see. But anyways, and here's my last new start for March. Did I even? Okay, so this is also another Gecko Rouge chart. I showed it as a kit during my kit break. And this is Kate Brazier Pumpkin Spice Cottage, which I absolutely love. And I knew I wanted to start in March with Carol. So we're doing a stitch along. We're starting a stitch along. So anybody who has a Gecko Rouge kit that's kind of fall or winter themed is welcome to join our stitch along. We're using the hashtag Gecko Waiting for Fall SAL to, keep track of our progress, to show. We'll try to post on Instagram kind of regularly, but we did start this on March 22nd. It's a couple days ago over a Zoom call. So we wanted to do it together, which was a lot of fun. We just had to coordinate the times because Kara's in Germany. So we had about 8-hour difference. And I also I usually start at the top left corner, but I started at the bottom left corner. So I have gotten 888 stitches on this, which is, I think, 0.56%. So over 0.5%. And I love the colors. I'm just trying to, I want to finish. It's kind of a little bit of a confetti heavy for now in the bottom. So it's kind of taking me a while. There's a lot of colors in just the first corner over here. So I usually pick a color that's where I'm starting and then wherever it takes me to fill it in. But there's so many colors in just the first 100, 10 by 10 square that it's taking me a while to get it all filled. Oh, but it's so pretty. I love it so much. So if anybody else has a Gecko Rouge that they want to join, want to start. Also, this March, in Gecko's Patreon, on Patreon, Gecko Rouge released Joe Grundy kit. And I feel like it's also in a fall, it's kind of fall themed. It's really beautiful. So if anybody wants to start that definitely fits the theme of our stitch along. So my personal goal is to do at least 1,000 stitches on this piece a month. So I'll try to prioritize it. Okay, so that's everything I have in terms of stitching progress, updates. It's been I've been busy. Unfortunately haven't had as much time to stitch lately. It's springtime. My husband and I starting expanding our garden a little bit. Not a little bit. So we have one raised bed, but we decided to add 5 more raised beds. So we've been kind of busy with building the beds, planning what to plant, starting seeds. We still have to, get all this soil and everything else. But I feel like once it's done, it's going to be super, nice to get a lot of produce from those beds, because everything grows so fast and well in this climate in California. What else? Okay, so then I got a couple new kits, which is not Gecko-Rouge. This was also kind of a spontaneous purchase. But I had a day off, and I was talking to my sister. And my sister has a couple of 3 cross-stitching kits that she purchased from Russia. I think back in 2020 or somewhere around there. And it took her 9 months to receive them. So I was just talking to her about her kits. She completed one of them, but she still has others that are not done. And I forgot what they looked like, so I was asked her for pictures, and she took pictures, and one of them was a Luca S kit. Oh, well, I've heard of Luca S. So I ended up looking at their website to see what kits they have, and I ended up liking 2 very much, so I got a couple. So this is the first one I got, which is the King of Flowers. I'm hoping it's not very big. It doesn't look like it's very big. And it came with 16 count Ada, which I don't think I'll be using. Ada is not my favorite to work on. It's kind of too stiff for me. So I'll probably substitute for a 40 count fabric and do two strands. No. I don't know. Probably 2 over 2. I'll have to see. So I do want to start this one. I don't know when. Sometime. And then the second one I got is this one, Vase with Hydrangeas. My mother-in-law really likes hydrangeas, so this just reminds me of my mother-in-law. So I figured those 2 will be fun to work on. So yeah, now I have kits that are not Gecko-Rouge kits, which is wild to me. Also, they came with paper patterns, but I've heard that you can get charts from them if you email them. So I did send them an email asking if I get PDF charts, and I'm waiting to hear back. But I'm actually hoping they can send me charts, or I've asked if they could send me charts in Saga format. Caro introduced me to Saga app, Saga cross stitching, which is similar to Pattern Keeper, but I believe it's Russian. I don't know. And I still can't forgive her for that, because I think she ruined me. It's so much better than Pattern Keeper. It takes a while to get used to, but it has so many more features. You can have it on Android or Apple. So I got it on my iPad. It's very beautiful. I love the mock-up features. I don't know, it's just really pretty. And I like all the stats. So it keeps track of how many stitches you put in each day. And you can set goals. And you can have different kinds of stitches. You can have back stitch. You can, it's not just cross stitches. It's not just X's. So it just has a lot of very cool features. Unfortunately, from my research, it seems like most, you have to get it into Saga app format, which is a hassle. I tried to look up tutorials of how to do it. It's kind of complicated. So I don't know. There's an app that you could buy but then I wasn't able to purchase it because that app that can convert the PDFs is is a Russian app. I think it's called Paradise. But I wasn't able to purchase it. I got it to work, but then I couldn't export the file into Saga file because you have to have the paid version of the app. And the paid version, the Google store, is not letting you purchase it right now because of the sanctions on Russia or whatever. So then there's another way, which would be to buy it through Russian store, but there's no way I'm ever doing that. I'm not giving them my credit card information. So I don't know. I'm hoping that one day I'm able to have more charts in that format, in Saga format. Well, if there's an easier way to convert some of the PDFs into Saga, that would be nice. What else I have left? That's basically it. I do have some hauls, a little bit of a haul also to talk about some of the things that I purchased at the retreat. One thing about this retreat, I really liked, it was 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I really liked the location. It was in Garden Grove. The hotel was super nice. The room was beautiful. It had windows, has a lot of natural light. Parking was free, a little bit tight, but it was free. So I really, really liked the venue. It's next to a lot of plant-based vegan restaurants, which was awesome for me because I'm primarily plant-based. So I had a lot of places to choose from for lunch. And I really appreciated all the vendors that were there at the retreat. So I'm trying to not buy a lot of things this year, but I couldn't resist. This is the Golden Familiars. I got a project bag that I'm using for this stitch along, Pumpkin Spice Cottage. And look how beautiful. I think it's 14 by 14 inches. I usually don't do project bags. I haven't been spending money on them, but this one is so beautiful and it's so well made. I really need to learn how to make them, but then I don't want to spend the time learning and making it. I'd rather be stitching. So I want to have more. I wish I could have these for every single one of my projects, but it would be a lot of money. So I just have one for now, but maybe I'll treat myself to one every few months or so, and then I'll build a collection slowly. So I really, really liked this vendor. And I forget which state she's from, but she flew out to California. It was her first time being on the West Coast. And she just had some amazing products. She also had, I forget what this is called, but I think it's meant to be a project bag, but it's like a fancier project bag. So I just love the dragons. As soon as I saw it, I have to have it before anybody else snatches it up. But you can kind of keep your project here. So she also has an option with if you like bobbins, then there's slots that you could put bobbins in, but I don't use bobbins. So I wanted this one, this pouch. And then there's pockets here, and there's another pouch in here, which I'm using to keep my scissors. I currently don't have any projects that are small enough to go in here, but I am keeping my stitching journal in this pocket. So it's kind of become the pouch that I take with me everywhere to keep all my stitching things. So I also purchased, I actually had a pair of scissors that went dull at the retreat. So I used it as an excuse to buy another pair of scissors. So I bought these scissors from Live and Die LA. And I bought this scissors fob, whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about, from the Golden Familiars. So that's what she had, this one. So I really, really like that. Then I got, there was another vendor, Disco Babe Designs. she is from Las Vegas and she's super, super sweet. So shout out to Disco Babe Designs. I think she has an Etsy store. But what she had were needle minders and threaders. And she had a lot of like seasonal things too. But look at this cute neck. Oh, there we go. I got this necklace with a needle threader and little scissors. How cute is this? And I used that at the retreat. And then I got a few more needle threaders. So for example, I got this one and they were like $7 at the retreat. I haven't been using needle threaders, but I bought these at the retreat. And I got home. Okay. I have to tell you guys this story. So I've never really shared this on FlossTube, but my husband does cross stitch with me sometimes. Very rarely, maybe like once or twice a year, he'll be in a mood to sit down and cross stitch with me, and that's his way of like spending time with me sometimes. So during the retreat on Thursday, I got home pretty late. Well, was it Friday? I forget. One of the days. I got home late. When I got home, my kids were already in bed, and my husband said, "Do you want to cross stitch together? If you're not sick of it?" And I said, "Yeah." And I can cross stitch all day and all night if like I was definitely still not sick of it. So we ended up stitching together for like 2 more hours, and I went to bed really late that day. But I showed him these needle threaders that I purchased at the retreat, and then he's like, "Where has that been my whole life?" Because he struggles with threading his needle. So he he was kind of upset at me that I've kept him from these. And yeah, he was he was very happy to have it. So I ended up buying like a couple more just for him, that he can have whenever he decides to stitch with me again. So anyways, but they're super cute. So I bought a couple just in case my daughter takes them from me too, because I definitely can see that from happening. Anything else? Those are basically all the things I purchased. I did the retreat was 4 days, but I ended up leaving early on Thursday because my husband wanted me to help out with the kids in the evening. He had to go into the office on Friday, so it was going to be a busy evening for him if he had to be on his own and then go to work the next day. So I ended up leaving early on Thursday. And then originally I wasn't planning on going on Sunday because I felt like 4 days is way too long. I can't leave my husband by himself the whole weekend with the kids. But then because I left Thursday, he's like, we'll just go in on Sunday. So I ended up going in on Sunday too. So I was actually there for 4 days. I think that was a little bit too long for me. I think 3 days is better. I was kind of sore at the end from sitting in a chair all day for 4 days in a row. Although I did try to stand up, stretch, walk around. It was just a lot. So I kind of like the 3-day length of retreats, but I might be in the minority. I think Live and Dilate should put out a poll of how many days people prefer, 3 or 4, and I think majority of people said 4, or at least when I was looking at it. So I think I am in the minority, but it was a little bit too long for me. But I hope she does it again next year. I think she does plan to. I just really, really like the venue. And I liked all the vendors that were there. But it was a lot of fun. I think it was around 90 people there. So I'm glad I went, but I can't afford to go to all the retreats. So I only want to do 2 a year for now. It's also a lot of time that I'm away from my family. So I did sign up for the retreat in Anaheim at the end of early November, the same one from Cross Stitching Society. I forget what it's called. Oh, when you wish upon a stitch, the retreat that I went to last year. So I did sign up to go again this year. So I'm looking forward to that in November. But for now, no more retreats. I also end up spending a lot of money there every time I go. So I just need to stay away from them. Okay, that's all I have planned, or not planned. That's all I had to show you and talk about. So we're now 40 minutes. Yeah, I knew this one was gonna be longer. But just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me. I will, again, and my plan initially was to film updates every 2 weeks, but the way that life is turning out to be, I think once a month is more realistic timelines for me. So maybe I'll see you at the end of April with more stitching progress updates. And if you guys have any questions or suggestions, feel free to comment below. And then I'll see you all later. Bye.